Hey everybody, if you are like me, one of the things that I have learned over the course of time is I am not good at directions. I think I am. I think I understand where I'm going. I think I know where I'm going. But life has shown me that I get lost probably more than most, which is a really hard thing for me to tell you because I'm a man and men don't like to ask for directions. Several years ago, me and my wife were hiking at Grandfather Mountain, and it was a perfect day. We had packed a lunch, we set the course, we knew where we wanted to go. We parked the car in a parking lot, we got to the trailhead, and the trailhead showed us the map going up the mountain. Well, what we saw that there was several different other ways that you could get back to the parking lot. So we hiked up the mountain. It took hours of hiking, crawling up very steep places, a lot of places we were literally climbing to get up to the top. But when we got up to the top, the view was so incredible. We sat there, we ate a lunch, we hung out there for a long time, and it was a picture perfect hike until we started to go back down. And that's where the trouble started, because in my mind, I thought I could find another path back to the car. We would just take another route. We would see and we would explore a little bit more along the way. We'd get to see some more incredible sights. And I thought I knew where I was going, but in fact, I didn't. We got very lost. We continued to walk and walk and walk. And I think one of the things when you're lost, you walk a little bit faster, you drive a little bit faster. And it's really strange because you're just getting yourself further and further away. And so that's what we did. We hiked and we hiked. We saw a couple people along the way, but my pride, I didn't want to ask for directions. So we kept going. And as the day continued, the sun started going down. And then I was starting to get a little bit worried because we hadn't seen anybody for a really long time on the path. A little while later, we came across a bridge and we got to the other side of the bridge and I heard something. It was some voices that were on the path down below us. We waited for them to catch up. I swallowed my pride and I asked for directions. They said I was going in completely wrong way, that I was on the other side of the mountain, miles away from the parking lot, but I listened to them. They said, listen to us and we will take you back down the hill. We'll get in the Jeep and we'll go back to your car. So we traveled with them back down to the parking lot where we got in their vehicle and they drove us around the mountain to our car. I was very thankful that they were experienced and that they gave us advice and that I actually listened. Along the path that God has for us, we come in contact with people that are maybe a little further down the path, maybe have a little bit of experience. Maybe it's in marriage and you've watched their marriage and you've seen how they love each other. And it's all right to go to them for advice. In raising kids, this was something that we did often. We went to other parents that were a little further along to help get through maybe the teenage years or helping your children actually adult on their own. And that advice that we got from people was so incredibly helpful. Along the path, if we listen to the right voices and we weed out some of the voices that we don't need to listen to. Unfortunately, when we lean on our own understanding and our own ideas, it often leaves us in a place where we feel like it's hopeless. Or if we listen to the wrong people or follow the wrong advice, it really sets us back. There's a story in the Bible about a young man who had just become king. And as he takes over the throne, he actually goes out and solicits some advice from some of the people. He wants to know what to do. And so I really credit him for going and getting advice. We find the story in 1 Kings 12. Let's see what it says. 1 Kings 12:4 says this: Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but now lighten the harsh labor and the heavy yoke he put on us, and we will serve you." Rehoboam answered, "Go away for 3 days, and then come back to me." So the people went away. Then King Rehoboam consulted with the elders who had served his father Solomon during his lifetime. "How would you advise to answer these people?" he asked. They replied, "If today you will serve the people and serve them and give them a favorable answer, they will always be your servants." But he rejected the advice of the elders gave him, and he consulted the young men whom he had grown up with and were serving him. He asked them, "What is your advice? How should I answer these people who say to me, 'Lighten the yoke your father put on us'?" The young men who had grown up with him replied, "These people have said to you, 'Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but make our yoke lighter.' Now tell them, 'My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. My father laid a heavy yoke on you. I will make it even heavier. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions." 3 days later, Jeroboam and all the people returned to Rehoboam. As the king, he said, "Come back to me in 3 days." The king answered the people harshly, rejecting the advice given to him by the elders. He followed the advice of the young men and said, "My father made a heavy yoke. I will make it even heavier. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions." So the king did not listen to the people, for this turn of events was from the Lord, to fulfill the word of the Lord had spoken to Jeroboam, son of Nebat. So Rehoboam listened to advice, but he listened to the wrong advice. He got some incredible advice from the elders who had served his father, the King Solomon. They had great wisdom, and they said, if you serve these people and if you lighten the load on them, they will serve you forever. Rehoboam did not listen to the wise advice. He went to his friends, and they gave him the advice that he wanted to hear. And that is what we do. We go to people that will tell us what we want to hear. And if we have people in our life that are willing to tell us the hard things, that will love us through that, we should listen to that advice. The truth is, King Rehoboam did not last very long as king. The nation split under his reign. And so his reign, really as the whole kingdom of Israel split, only lasted 3 days. That is not a good story. Your story and my story has a lot to depend on how we listen to the advice of others. God has put incredible people in your lives that are a voice of wisdom. Continue to listen to the voices that will guide and instruct you, sometimes telling you the hard things. And men, like me, it's all right to ask for directions and say you don't quite understand. You don't have to try to do it on your own. You weren't meant to do it that way. Pray to God. Spend quiet time. Find a place where you can just listen to his voice, because his voice wants to direct you on this path that he has set for you. As you and your group meet today, don't forget, look at your letter from your dad. Your Heavenly Father wants to talk to you along this trail. He wants to give you some advice. He wants to encourage you and tell you, well done, keep going, I'm proud of you. And when we hear words like that, that kind of encouragement, it goes a long way. The people in your group are there for you, and let's listen to the voices of others as we travel this path and journey together.